help if I didn't unmute my mic. Hi guys, welcome to the Chelsea versus Newcastle watch along here on Radio Tekkers. Tanner is running a little bit late, but he'll be joining me shortly. But yeah, let's get into this, guys.
Howdy.
Channeling your inner Matt. Rocking up late. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Mags?
Yeah, not too bad. Tired. UFC was a bit rough last night, but yeah, all good. Ready to watch a very intriguing game for things not particularly going on the pitch. So yeah, we've got Chelsea versus Newcastle, and ever the efficient podcasters that we are, we both did the lineups.
We just wanted to make sure that we got this one right.
So we'll go for your Newcastle. Chelsea are the home team. So we'll go for your Chelsea one first. Do you want to run through the team?
Yeah, sure. This Chelsea starting lineup here is brought to you by. Sure. Mindy's in goal. Chalobah, Christensen, and Rudiger make up the defensive line. Some interesting happenings here in the midfield, particularly in the wing back spot. Here you've got Ziyech and Sarr, who are in the wing back spots. Ziyech normally more of a attacking winger, if you will. Sarr normally more of a center back. So,
yep, I think This formation is definitely made to combat Newcastle's like heavily packed defensive midfield, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, judging by the formation that Newcastle United chose, I feel like both teams got their tactical ideas slightly wrong.
Yeah,
maybe just a little bit.
I do find it interesting that Werner is in support when he's the out and out flat track bully.
Yeah, I mean so Werner is up on the, I believe it would be the left hand side of the winger position. There, Mount on the right hand side. I could have that wrong though. They will likely be switching back and forth anyway. And then you've got Havertz basically playing as a maybe a 9.5 up front.
Yeah, maybe like a false 10, dropping back and kind of like filling gaps. But yeah, let's get into this Newcastle lineup.
Yeah, Newcastle United. Do you want that one, or do you want me to cover that one?
I can do it. So we've got Dubravka in goal, Manquillo, Shaw, Lascelles, Burns, and Target across the back five. Really kind of packing out that defence. I think that's is clearly an aim to counter Mount, Havertz, Ziyech and Werner. Then in midfield we've got Murphy, Sean Longstaff, Guimaraes, and Almiron. And then the solo attacker, the lone man up front doing his job as he did at Burnley is Chris Wood.
Yeah. I'm excited because I haven't really, and I think that, I think here on the channel in general, we haven't really watched a Newcastle United game since the takeover. So this has an interesting prospect written all over it. This is going to be a bit of a slugfest for two teams that have chosen to play very defensively today, and it'll be a lot like watching two rich kids, fight over whose dad is wealthier, and except this time we know the answer.
One of them's dad has run out on him and left the mum holding the baby. But before we get to the off pitch stuff, interesting that Fraser, who has been a star in this kind of a Saudi rebuild of Newcastle, and St Maximin both sat on the bench. You'd think that in this game that they'd be front and centre.
You would think so. I feel like perhaps Eddie Howe, manager of Newcastle United, perhaps he's playing his cards very close to the chest here. He might have a trick or two up his sleeves to maybe I don't know. Maybe he wants to see where things are as the first half, concludes, and then reassesses to make sure to maybe possibly spicing things up in the second half. Maybe bring on Saint Maximin, as you put it. Just to try and maybe get something going here instead of being so defensive, perhaps.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I think also when you're facing Chelsea, you don't really expect to come out of the game with anything. So it might be a wiser decision to save those big game plays for when you need them, when you've got more potential of scoring points. That being said, Newcastle are the informed team in the Premier League at the moment. Just win after win after win, clawed themselves out of that relegation zone, all from the backing of the Saudi money. On the flip side of that, you've got Chelsea, who now are the paupers of the league, have no money whatsoever, have had all their bank accounts are frozen, have got a special license to even be traded as a football club right now. Really, they should be. The club should be wound up. It's been the owner's been sanctioned. His assets have been frozen. But they got special dispensation because the government see Chelsea as a cultural significance. But they are very, very limited in the trading they can do. So there is no away Chelsea fans here. No away tickets can be sold. They can't sell tickets for the home games. Only pre-bought season tickets are active. They're essentially not allowed to do any form of business whatsoever. It's very worrying times if you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, players had to hitchhike to Stamford Bridge.
That is a stretch.
In jest, yes. So Chelsea Chelsea have I believe it's a £20,000 limit on travel expenses. Which, I mean, if they were playing an away game, for example, and we've heard about these kind of things all week from sources like The Athletic and other news outlets. It's going to be a lot trickier if Chelsea progress further into the Champions League, where they might have to do a little bit more traveling.
Have to drive down in their own cars.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be very interesting to see how they sort this out for Chelsea. I mean, to travel to Europe, they would normally take a flight first class or something like that. But in this case, it might be a little bit trickier. Or a charter, perhaps. But obviously Chelsea have to travel not only with the players, but the coaching staff, the medical staff. Chelsea are in quite the pickle.
And there's also the kind of black mark over selling the club, because obviously the asset is frozen. But apparently there are still people interested in buying the club. The government are adamant that Abramovich gets absolutely no recompense from the sale of the club. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens over the next few weeks. But by rule of law, this club should wind up. This club shouldn't exist anymore. It's only because of the cultural significance and the kind of the damage it would do for the rest of the league that this club is still able to trade. But it seems some dark times are coming for Chelsea.
Well, I mean, there's been some rumored purchasers, right? I believe there was the rumor that the consortium that owns the LA Dodgers here in the United States, that they have shown interest in purchasing Chelsea. Okay. They are a very moneyed group. For those who are into baseball, you will know that the LA Dodgers generally outspend everybody in the league trying to get their targets. So that there will be a very familiar feeling for you there. But this is a different kind of game. Right, this is much different than baseball or basketball, which is what that consortium really knows and understands. Obviously, it could go to any number of other foreign dignitaries, perhaps. I don't know. It will be interesting to see how this all plays out. At the very least, no matter where you stand, this is a very interesting time to be observing Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, definitely, and it will be so hard for the players to not take that kind of mental struggle onto the pitch room. So it's actually really fascinating that we're picking this game to watch to see if that back room kind of shenanigans affects the players on the pitch as we see the teams lining up now to come out on the pitch. How do you think it'll affect the players?
I mean, nobody really wants to eat breakfast made by, N'Golo Kante, right? Like, that seems like it's a really dicey situation. If you've seen the meme out there, yeah, I mean, maybe some tummies rumbling as they're headed to walk out. We can see that there are very few fans at Stamford Bridge today.
Yes.
Very, very few. Obviously, I think part of it, too, with what you pointed out here as far as selling tickets goes, I don't even think away fans can make it to the game because they can't sell.
Yeah, they cannot sell any tickets at all unless they are pre-bought season tickets. They're not allowed any new transactions, which is... there's huge swaths of the stadium just empty.
Yeah, these are the kind of images we had this time last year when we had the COVID restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
There is not many people. I mean, the view that we have right now, there's quite a few. But if we did a pan around the entire stadium, there's big segments that are empty. And to keep on the new transactions theme, they also can't sign any new players or sign any new contracts for players. And there's quite a few of this Chelsea lineup who are out of contract, maybe 1 foot out of the club now. I know there's a lot of talk of Rudiger going. I think Azpilicueta is almost out of the door. Christensen still hasn't signed a new contract. There's going to be a lot of chopping and changing at Chelsea in the coming season. Yeah, you might even see a few of these Newcastle faces headed to Stamford Bridge, on the cheap. As Newcastle tries to, I guess, close some of the doors that they have on some of these contracts within their squad. And again, that's all depending on if a sale can be made. Right, I think there's they have to even have a special license for the club to be sold, even. So that's, wow, yeah. It's just it's quite a conundrum that Chelsea Football Club finds it in.
And it's such a reversal of fortunes over the last 6 months. Newcastle were dead and buried. Newcastle had an owner who didn't want to spend, wanted out of the club for so long. The fan base hated the owner. Whereas Chelsea had an owner that was adored, that they absolutely loved, that threw money at the club willy-nilly. And now Newcastle have got that owner, and Chelsea have got nobody. Chelsea are the red-headed stepchild of the Premier League right now.
Let's just check in with everybody here. Connor McCabe in the chat says, "Good morning, Tanner and Lord Mags." Good morning, Connor.
Hello,
reminding
sir.
me that I need to get myself a title of some sort.
Squire Tanner.
Morty Jr. in the chat. How's it going, Morty? He says,
sir.
"The boys checking in." Welcome, Morty.
I've got your DM as well, Morty, so I'll reply after this. But I think I'd like to battle this motherfucker right here. So, and I'll leave that with no context until we've finished with recording.
I'm very confused, but also intrigued.
Yes. So as we are lining up for...
I think you're about to point out the same thing that I was going to.
Essentially, they're taking the knee. I don't know if you'll probably be a little bit behind me, but they're taking the knee, so thought this is ample time to give a prediction.
Yeah. They're about to take the knee here.
We just kicked off.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go 1-1 2-1 draw. Newcastle and Chelsea.
I think the backstage shenanigans will affect the Chelsea team, and I think Newcastle's form will see them take the win. I'm going to go 2-0.
It's very possible, I think. It's very possible. This is going to be a very interesting game, no matter which way you cut it. We did see a very interesting flag in the Chelsea stands, the Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire one, I saw
flag
that.
with Russian. Obviously, there's been some controversies online regarding Chelsea fans as of late. Unfortunately, booing the "We Stand with Ukraine" announcements at the beginning of matches, or chanting Roman Abramovich throughout matches. Obviously, on one hand, if you are a Chelsea fan, I can understand how much pride you would have, or how loyal you might feel to a man who's helped bring so much to a club that really had no history previous to him coming in.
Well, they were a cup team. They were essentially
a cup team. Yeah. They were on the level
Have you kicked
Wigan.
off yet?
Yes, we've kicked off. I'm sorry.
I
kept flapping on. Yeah, it's about 50 seconds in.
Oh, you're in. Wow.
But yeah, I mean, they were like the Wiggins and the West Hams and the Brightons of the world, the Crystal Palaces.
And we kind of see reflections of that in the wrestling business. Both being massive wrestling fans, we see that tribalism, that fanboyism, where fans will forgive wrestlers' transgressions because they're their favourites. Similarly, because Roman Abramovich and his free spending has brought so much to Chelsea, his kind of political leanings and his non-football shenanigans will go kind of unabated, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we will see, and I mean, we know who Newcastle United's owners are as well, though, right?
This is exactly it.
This is all sorts of tinged in irony.
Newcastle are essentially Chelsea a decade ago,
20 years ago. Yeah,
pretty much. Chelsea with the first real opportunity, then long range effort just went over the bar, but they're starting brightly and powering forward right now. Newcastle using that heavy defence to clean up.
Yeah, Newcastle are doing very well in terms of rebuilding and picking out maybe not like the world-class pieces everybody thought they would right off the bat, but they've picked out the smart pieces. They've picked out they've picked very wisely as compared to maybe other rebuilds of the past.
Yeah, and I think that was always the case when you're rock bottom of the league with staring up at everybody else. You're not going to attract the Messis. You're not going to attract the Neymars. You're not going to attract these big name players. They had to be sensible. And if this were Burnley, if this were any other club, we would, as a fan base, we would be having the same ideas that we're going to bring in these huge players. But yeah, I do like the way Newcastle have gone about this. I think they've overspent. I know Burnley certainly pulled their trousers down for Chris Wood. But that's the English tax, and also the fact that everybody knows they are awash with money, so they're always going to overspend on players. As Chelsea have another attack, Rudiger heading. He's looking for it looks like he's looking for a corner. He's threatening the referee there. Interesting.
Yeah, he might be doing that in a Newcastle shirt next year. From all accounts that I've read.
I mean, I thought I heard the rumours that Barcelona and Real Madrid were interested, but Newcastle will certainly be one of those big hitters next season. I fully expect him to be challenging at least for Europe.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle United would at least be able to pay for him pay his wages to come and play.
Exactly.
Barcelona and Real Madrid, I'd be a little bit skeptical.
So Connor in the chat has said, could Chelsea fold and no longer exist due to all these sanctions? Well, the way business works in the UK, Chelsea right now should have folded. They should not exist as a company. When an owner is sanctioned, essentially all his assets are seized and they're essentially dissolved. But because of Chelsea's history as a football club, because of the effect it would have had on the rest of the Premier League had they folded, and because of the cultural significance, the way the government have named it, they've been given a licence to carry on trading. As this is something new that's never really happened in the UK before, the government seems to be playing a lot of this by ear. So the license is being constantly reviewed. Hopefully we will get to the point for Chelsea and for Chelsea fans where a sale is possible, but again, under government law, that shouldn't happen. The club shouldn't be allowed to be sold because the owner isn't allowed to profit off his ill-gotten gains, I suppose.
It's very reminiscent almost, and I don't know if Connor remembers this or not. He may have been too young at the time, but we when we had the housing market crash of around 2008, 2009, we entered that really tough economic period, and a lot of people wanted to point the finger and blame the banks for failing because the banks no longer had any money. There was, that apprehension of, well, do we let Wells Fargo and AIG and Bank of America and all these giant banks fail because of their transgressions? Just like now, do we let Chelsea fail because of their transgressions here, or their owners' transgressions, rather? And they've kind of gotten a hand up because of, the alternative being seemingly worse in the eyes of the beholder, perhaps.
Yeah, and this isn't like Chelsea getting off lightly, and I do feel, I suppose, for the Chelsea team and the staff and the fans, because they haven't done anything wrong.
They have, but not in this regard.
In football terms, they've done things wrong, but in terms of supporting. Essentially a terrorist, they haven't done that. But it's the kind of the horse blinkers situation where people know where Roman got his money from. People are aware of who he was politically aligned with, but he brought success and he brought big name players and he brought star managers to the club. So a lot of it was forgiven until his friend decided he wanted to own another country, and that's when the government decided, listen, we can't do anything to you, but we can punish your friends.
Just imagine the kind of adrenaline rush that you would get to be like, yes, I now own another country. No, I'm just all in jest here. I'm not saying like wow. I'm not backing. I did
not think that Tanner would find a way to side with Putin.
Coming out as very
shocking
pro Putin right now. No, but this has again been a long time coming, I feel. Right? There's always been that weariness about it, and it seems like things have calmed down for a while until, of course, actions ratcheted up, and I think even for years before this, Roman was not allowed to be at Chelsea games. He used to take a lot of pride in being kind of on the emperor's throne, observing the games at Stamford Bridge. But now, for a few years now, he's not even been allowed inside the stadium for political reasons. And now this has made things even more dire for him. Chelsea is essentially a front for him, right? It's essentially an image front for him.
Yeah. When you first said
project.
I assumed you meant a front to funnel like his money, which I don't think it is. I think it's a front to spend his money frivolously. But
it's the opposite
you are
way.
right. It's definitely it was a status symbol to him that he was a Champions League club owner, and now he's penniless.
Oh, how the turntables.
I'm sure he's definitely not penniless. I'm sure he's got plenty of his gas and oil money squirreled away.
I just hope that he's stocked his fridge.
Mm-hmm.
That desperate time.
But we're not here to discuss politics. We are an apolitical podcast here. Well, we try to be. We obviously have political leanings, but we are meant to be covering the football, so we will try to do that. 10 minutes in.
We've seen a lot of decent action so far. I mean, Newcastle really kind of absorbing what Chelsea's bringing to the table, and I feel like Newcastle's actually looked pretty confident here.
Yeah, that back five is a solid lineup. There's very little of people being pulled out of position. Chelsea doing a good job of looking to find holes and gaps in the defence, but Newcastle very resolute so far.
Indeed. The ball goes back to Christensen. Christensen out to Rudiger. Rudiger looking for space. Finds Mount.
Rudiger's had a lot of the ball in this first 10 minutes.
It looked like that was Werner, brought down by Lascelles or Lascelles. I'm not quite sure what the correct pronunciation is.
It's Lascelles.
Lascelles. Okay.
Lascelles. Jesus. That's another whole tag if I've ever heard one.
Well, I mean, you know, the C might be silent.
Is the C not pronounced in Lascelles and Lascelles? It's the A that changes tone in both those descriptions.
It's the inflection. Lascelles, Lascelles.
Oh, you are so American.
Ball lands to somebody who I can't recognize. It was in the Newcastle shirt.
Brilliant. Them Newcastles, they all look alike.
I just couldn't recognize. Who is that?
I think it was Manquillo.
Is that Manquillo?
Bundled. I think so. He was bundled down by Rudiger. Connor coming with another interesting question. Said, I've just noticed there's a lot of Sunday fixtures today when most of the fixtures are played on Saturday. Is there a reason for most of the fixtures being played today? No, it's mainly just logistics and because we've had gaps in the Premier League due to COVID and matches have to be fitted into a shorter period. That extra day's rest between midweek games and Saturday games, it's just more beneficial for the teams. And also in the UK we have something called football blackout, where on Saturdays at 3 p.m. no football is allowed to be shown at all on UK TV. So that's why we tend to get Sunday games as the bigger games, because they're able to be broadcast.
Yeah. Seems legit. I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll leave you in the warm and trusting hands of our Lord Mags.
Well, that's very, very brave of you guys. Apologies for how bad this is going to be. But yeah, Newcastle now have an attack of their own. A free kick just past the halfway line. Comes to nothing. Floated into Mendy. Who's tries to calm his team down. Quick throughout though. Chelsea trying to build from the back. Rudiger again. Like I said, getting a hell of a lot of the ball. almost kind of playing the ball, deep lying playmaker, ball playing midfield role. Havertz trying to make space down the wing, quickly dispossessed. Ball goes back to Chelsea though, and it's whipped into the box. Absolutely nobody there though, and it just goes off for a throw in on the opposite side. So, guys, throw in the chat if you have any opinions on the changing fortunes of these two teams, and also throw in your predictions. Do you think that the off-field interruptions are going to affect Chelsea? It doesn't seem to have in this opening 15 minutes. Chelsea looking pretty bright, but the next few weeks are going to be a bit of a struggle for them. Newcastle now building from the back. Long ball push forward, but easily picked out by the Chelsea defence. Kante tried to spread the ball. Christensen. And again, we've it looks like it's Chalobah. And humped right back to Rudiger again. Some nice one-touch flowing football by Chelsea here. But whenever they get close to Newcastle's goal, Newcastle players are swarming. A lot of energy from these Newcastle players. But Chelsea pushing forward now. Havertz trying to use his pace. And again, Chelsea spreading all the way across the pitch, looking for a gap. Good little overplay there, and a little bit of wrestling to throw a player on the floor there by Chalobah, and we go for a Newcastle goal kick. Dubravka with the huge boot out, flicked on for Newcastle. Chelsea easily mop it up. Playing it nicely across the back, very calm, very confident. Out to Sarr, plays it back into Rudiger. We're just getting an update on some of the rest of the scores in the Premier League here. So Watford are beating Southampton. That's a really big result for them. Newcastle are beating Norwich. Leeds are beating Norwich. West Ham and Villa are currently drawing. So yeah, big results so far for Watford. Beating Southampton at Southampton.
Mm. Are you going over the other results around the league?
Yeah, we've just they've just come up on a banner on the bottom of our screen. But yeah, it's been an interesting chess match of a game so far. Coming into the 20-minute mark, Newcastle have been very solid in defence, but Chelsea have been really good at spreading the ball and looking for those chinks in this defence of Newcastle.
Ooh, Newcastle with some real fervor there.
Hustling for the ball.
Yeah, the ball goes into the stands here. I guess it does appear as though there's some Newcastle fans there, so I'm sure that they pre-bought their tickets well in advance. But again, the expectation is for the scenes that you're seeing around the grounds here at Stamford Bridge to trickle down over the coming weeks. I'm certain of that.
Yeah, well, they can't put any more tickets on sale. These Newcastle tickets would have been on sale a couple of weeks ago anyway, so they're certainly able to include those transactions. But yeah, future games, I fully expect very little in terms of support in Stamford Bridge and zero support on away games.
Newcastle just pressing with everything. For a very defensive formation that they've chosen to go with today, they are playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of stride here. Compare
a
this
lot of
to
tempo as well.
A lot of tempo as well. Compare this to just 3 months ago under Steve Bruce. This team looked timid and kind of flat.
And didn't want to be there. They genuinely just didn't look like they were interested in winning games.
They look like they've definitely had a new lease of life, new lease on life breathed into them under Eddie Howe. That's for sure.
Yeah, behind Liverpool, they've got the best form in the Premier League. 4 wins and 1 draw. And there's only Liverpool and Chelsea were close to that. Liverpool obviously 5 wins on the bounce. The real informed team.
Mm-hmm. The real informed team. That's right.
Wow.
I'm seeing quadruple mags. Are you sure there's not 4 of you here on this screen? Because I've only been seeing 4s. Everywhere I go,
I've been speaking on. I've been speaking on other podcasts that I've been involved in, and saying how I'm really confident for my Liverpool supporting brothers in arms that they will achieve the quad this season.
I feel like that would cement a statue for Jurgen Klopp inside of Anfield. Without a doubt. There's already one in the works, I'm sure, but it just got 10 feet higher.
Even with the struggle against Inter, you were still able to power through, and that's the mark of champions.
Yeah, we can talk about that goal, the Lautaro Martinez goal. Who could stop that goal? Nobody. Nobody
Exactly.
could. That
Exactly.
was
It was a worldie.
A worldie of a goal. But even then, Liverpool certainly held on and made it to where Inter certainly did not score another one. And onwards and upwards, I presume.
And it looks like Newcastle are already warming up some substitutes. Alan St. Maximum.
Yeah, he's there.
Parading on the pitch. I haven't seen anybody pick up a knock.
Newcastle?
Oh.
We're getting close.
Rudiger. It's Ziyech cleaning up and picks up the free kick.
Yep. Man. The pass off the target was by Guimaraes, who... my goodness, if you haven't seen that Guimaraes back heel goal yet from the other day against Norwich, boy howdy, go and check that one out. That was one of the finest goals you will ever see in the Premier League, bar none. It
was a quality goal. Yeah, quality goal. As it stands across the league so far, we've still only seen the 2 goals. Ironically, both of them in the 40th minute. Rodrigo for Leeds against Norwich, and Hernandez for Watford away to Southampton, which pulls Watford actually above Burnley in the relegation zone, although Burnley do have 2 games in hand over them.
Yeah, you guys, I still feel confident about you guys making it out of there.
We should have beaten Brentford. That was a winnable game. I feel a little bit let down over that, and especially with the sending off as well. But Brentford had a little kind of a reversal of fortune recently. So that's a couple of wins on the bounce. But yeah, we've it's still in our destiny, let's say.
Yeah, I feel a lot less confident about Brentford than I do pretty much anybody else. Everton,
Everton, I think,
really,
are down. I think Everton are down. I just don't see where they get a win. Looking at the fixtures that they've got left, looking at the confidence on the pitch, I just don't see where they get a win.
Looking at Frank Lampard as their manager.
Yeah, scratching his head like, what am I doing here? Newcastle with a dangerous free kick here. This is where they could do with Alan Saint-Maximin.
It's taken by Longstaff. Longstaff floats it. Oh, very close for Newcastle. Good
a little bit too wide, but it shows that the danger is there and the confidence is there for Newcastle.
It was given offsides, but nonetheless, I think Newcastle are getting into the positions that they need to be in order to give Chelsea a worrying time today. I mean, Eddie Howe, I believe, has Chelsea scalp to his resume from previous seasons over in Bournemouth, perhaps. So he knows how to win here.
Chelsea trying to power forward. Newcastle just easily mop that up.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of test that we all presumed Jorginho would need. Is can he play on a cold and windy day in London against a team like Newcastle? This is interesting.
So Connor in the chat has asked a couple of interesting questions. So yeah, we'll cover this one first then. So in the Championship, is it the top two teams that gain automatic promotion? Yep, that's correct. So right now the playoffs will be. So right now that will be Fulham and Bournemouth, and then spots 3 to 7 go into the playoffs. Yep, and usually what happens is, it'd be 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
So it's 3 to 6.
Yep.
So
3 through 6.
Yeah. So 3 will play 6, and 4 will play 5. Then they play 2 legs and then a final at Wembley in the richest game in club football.
Right now, spots 3 to 6 are currently occupied by Huddersfield, QPR, Blackburn, and Sheffield. Mags, I mean, I know you're not a fan, but how much would you revel in Blackburn going up if Burnley were to stay up?
I would hate it with every fibre of my being.
You wouldn't want to play the derby? I mean,
I would rather they stay down. Yeah, I would rather Blackburn stay down. So it's 6 points.
I never want to play them ever again. We are above them at this point.
No, but if Blackburn stay down, it's guaranteed 6 points.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's one way of looking at it.
No,
a very logical way. Hey, if you want them to stay down, you don't have to. You don't have to want them to go up if you don't want to play.
I don't want them to go up. I want them to not go up. I would rather play them in the Championship than be in the Championship and look at them playing in the Premier League.
That's fair.
Because I'm petty. I'm a petty human being like that. If I can't be successful, I don't want anybody to be successful, especially the local rivals. Jesus wept.
But you would also, in that same token here, as Newcastle are set to defend this corner, you would get the chance to see Blackburn most likely get mauled to death by the likes of Liverpool and City and other clubs on a regular basis.
But then what if they did a Leeds, or what if they did a Brentford first half of the season where they surprised the world? That would anger me.
I mean,
I would be bitter, and I'm normally a very positive person, and I always look on the bright side of life.
I'm very optimistic about things, just in general. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I would like to trust what you're saying, but have you seen the Blackburn Rovers roster recently?
I do believe that will be picked apart, whether they go up or stay down. Anyway, I know I can see good players. I'm not that bland, and I think Brayton Diaz is too good for Blackburn, no matter whether they go up or not. So I can see a lot of Blackburn players, especially if they don't go up, which is looking less and less likely because I think they've played a lot more games than the teams around them. If they don't go up, I think their team will be raided by some Premier League teams.
Mm-hmm. Burnley, perhaps.
Ex-Blackburn players don't particularly do well when they come to Burnley. They're not looked upon favourably. And as we see a little kick out there, Ziyech going down like he'd been shot.
I believe that was by Almiron, who was the culprit there, perhaps. We get the glimpse of the sun shining over Stamford Bridge, which must be the first time in a week that anybody in that part of town has seen the sun.
So Connor actually asked another question in the chat, which we kind of floated over. Well, he made a statement, and I don't agree with it. It says, wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea plays the latter half of this season behind closed doors. The fact is they've sold 14,000...
Oh, sorry. That was false alarm there.
That was a great save, though, by Dubravka.
It looked like Mason Mount had struck the ball to go in, but it hit the outside side netting.
It was a save then. Yeah, it was a side net. Yeah.
What a goal.
But that was close.
Don't work that way.
That was very, very close.
Very.
So yeah, they won't play behind closed doors. They've got 14,000 season tickets that they have to honour, and plus those 14,000 are still going to buy food, drinks, and the like. So at least they can slightly trade as a club.
Yeah. Now we're getting some Newcastle fans pointing and singing at the Chelsea fans. Probably talking about how broke they are.
It's the best. It's the best thing about football. The fans and the shit talk between fan bases, especially when a team's in the mire like Chelsea are. It's brilliant. And Newcastle on the attack, hacked away by Chelsea. Havertz trying to be a little bit fanciful there, gives the ball back to Newcastle, but Chelsea rugged in winning it back. Very choppy last couple of minutes. A lot of tackles going in.
Very physical game. This is actually exactly what I wanted to see out of Newcastle. Is just them bodying,
beating the shit out of Chelsea.
Bodying Chelsea. This is years of frustration, Mags, that I've had built up inside me over this Chelsea team. Also, nobody informed me how large Dan Burn is.
I think he's about 6'5".
Yeah, that man is a unit. He's just a massive man. This is quite entertaining.
Newcastle have actually got a corner now.
My dog Millie has joined us. I'm trying to get her to come up here and say hi.
The star of the show.
You want to say hi? She's just looking at me. You want to say hi? Come here. Come on.
She's like, no, I want feeding, jackass.
She's already had that. Hi, Millie. Say hi to the beautiful people at home. Yes.
Hello, dog. As Newcastle take the corner, and it's punted away by Mendy.
Oh, Newcastle again very close here. Would have been Dan Burn once again. Dan Burn, the absolute unit.
He's certainly been a menace.
Perhaps.
That's a stretch. That is a bit of a stretch. But he's come close. He's actually come really, really close there. Again, a bit of an argument between Lascelles and looks like Rudiger, the referee, trying to calm the two down.
Lascelles like, why don't you just come play for a real club next season? You know, you come play with me here on the back line.
The irony is
and Rudiger gives him a pat on the head and a smile.
Keep my seat warm, bitch. I'll be taking that position next season.
He's like, I'm rocking up with you and Byrne next season. It's you, me, and he against the world.
He replaces Lascelles, surely.
Who? Rudiger?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I mean, Lascelles is such a good captain, though. This man,
it's fine being a good captain. Wayne Rooney was a good captain.
This man has 17 leadership on Football Manager 2022. Let me tell you,
Jesus,
this man
is he your current captain?
If he wasn't, he will be.
Never mind his quality on the pitch. As long as he can lead the line.
Hey, if you can pimp smack John Joe Shelby around a locker room, you can be my captain.
Newcastle again with another free kick, this time a little bit deeper inside the centre circle.
I guess some context for that story is necessary. There is a rumor that Lascelles, in his early days being a Newcastle player, he under Steve Bruce, I believe, was noted for getting on to some players about not playing up to par, and that they were costing him and the rest of the team their bonuses for staying up in the Premier League.
That's what a captain should do, though. I mean, I believe those was before he was captain as well.
He got very physical with some people, rumored to be possibly John Joe Shelby.
I mean, John Joe Shelby does look like Hitman from the game series, but I've seen him play football. I don't think he's got the accuracy to be a hitman.
I think they need maybe somebody of the likes of Danny Ceballos or Fabian from Napoli. Maybe somebody who can make the game tick along. Though you do have Guimaraes, so maybe you might want to bring in somebody like I don't know, maybe somebody who's more attack minded. I guess Ceballos could fit that dynamic.
Raid the team that you're playing against right now.
Yeah, bring in Mason.
Because they've got Mason Mount, Ziyech, Havertz, Werner, Lukaku, Kante.
That's like 9 Chelsea transfers here by Newcastle United. Newcastle, Guimaraes, he's got the ball. Man, this guy is so good. As I say that as he loses the ball to Chalobah.
but his close foot control. Oh, Jesus Christ! And that's a horrific tackle.
But Matty Target showing his Aston Villa colors there.
Yeah. You've got Gibberish with flowing silky schools and Matt Target just laying right through Ziyech.
Like a giant fart in a empty hallway. Oh, Mags, what shirt are you wearing this week?
Today I am wearing Golden Elite.
Ah, yes. From back in the day,
from
the
when,
original Golden Elite.
From when the books were just on the edge of me starting to dislike them, and then I bought the shirt. Looks like Watford are 2-up.
It looks like my man Dan Burns is on the floor and he's pointing the finger at Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz.
Flying in with the elbow. Hernandez has doubled his tally. Southampton are now 2 down at home to Watford.
Kai Havertz claiming he didn't see it, but like the Macho Man throwing those elbows, I'm sure that Kai Havertz clearly did see it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he said that too as he was clashing into Dan Burn. Bam! That's one right to the tempo. That's one for UFC right there.
I mean, that's brave to take on a man mountain of Dan Burns' size. I mean, Kai Havertz is not the biggest guy.
He's a tall man, but he's not. He does not.
He's wiry.
He doesn't have the physicality that Dan Burn has. VAR checking this here. Possible bad news for Chelsea if they lost Kai Havertz here.
I mean, I don't think it's red card caliber. I think a booking. I mean, you would say him looking in disdain in the direction of Dan Burn would be red card offence. Dan Burn already threatening Kai Havertz, said, "I'm going to fuck you up, you little bastard."
Dan Burn, I look forward to the rest of this game so much. Dan Burn is fuming. Dan Burn is going to have his head. Of course, all the Chelsea fans at home thinking that there's a conspiracy against them. Not today here, as Kai Havertz has gotten away with one, it seems. Oh, Dan Burn slapped him on the leg and pointed at him, yelling at him while he was on the floor. Oh, this is going to be a great game here, man.
Oh, wow. I'm not even interested in the other 20 players now. I am just interested I'm watching Kai Havertz. I want Kai Havertz cam, where we just focus on the one player. And Dan Burns straight away coming back on the pitch, and he's getting a booking. Guaranteed he gets booked.
He's just gonna
and he's right behind Havertz now. Havertz leaning into him.
Oh,
elbow to the back.
Here we go.
Oh, a little bit of wrestling and hustle there. This has just got up a notch.
Dan Burns is going to have a cheeky elbow to Kai Havertz's sternum here at a corner coming up soon.
He's slid a sly elbow to the back. And then there was a little bit of pulling of shirts. Yeah, Kai Havertz's best idea is to maybe switch out with Ziyech or Werner.
Yeah.
Take one for the team, Timo.
Timo's like, I only speak German. I really don't even como se dice English.
Yeah, so when Kai says to him, "Are you switching side?" he just goes 9. Oh, Jesus.
Thomas Tuchel very intrigued here by the goings on the pitch.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, the press conferences have been focusing on the goings on off the pitch, and he went up in my estimations, I think, with the way he handled the press.
I would agree.
I was really impressed with him.
I would agree. I feel like while they didn't hire him for that purpose, that they really do have a good man for the job and trying to, I guess, set the sails appropriately and to still, give fans a reason to turn up.
And focus on the football more than anything.
Focus on the football. Yeah. I mean, you got to say that had this happened to perhaps another manager in the league, that it would not be. This would not be the case.
I mean, there's managers in other leagues that have point blank quit their jobs because of what's happening with Russia and the Ukraine. So props to Tuchel for standing front and centre and taking the shots from the world media. Newcastle breaking now, the ball ping-ponging through the defence and almost breaks, and Newcastle just chopping down a Newcastle player and a Chelsea player every single time that they have the opportunity. This is glorious.
Dan Burn got right behind Kai Havertz and stuck out his giant tree trunk leg to take the interception there. That was brilliant.
Chelsea breaking down on the opposite side now, though. Ball whipped into the box. Deep. Great defending by Matty Target.
Yeah, Target defends there. So Ziyech cannot get the ball. I mean, obviously, this Newcastle team is very big physically, very strong, very capable. I would say Chelsea players do have the technical advantage, I would presume. just based on who's on the pitch here.
Ball whipped in off the corner, cleared well by Dan Burn. I mean, he's already probably my favourite man of the match so far.
Dan Burn.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a good couple of chances, and he's also going to kick the living shit out of Kai Havertz. It's coming.
He's got a little bit of a trickle of blood coming down the side of his face. They tried to patch it up as best as they could.
I don't think that was from the injury. I think that was from him being so angry he's bust a vessel. It could be, yeah. He sandmaned himself with a can.
Yeah, punched it up himself to rile himself up here.
He may have gigged. He may have got. Look at what he's done, ref. Send him off.
I feel like I've nicked an artery. This is going to be a bad day.
He's bleeding hardware.
Ball goes out here for a Chelsea throw-in.
And we are
Mason
confirmed
Mount,
it's 2 minutes of extra time, or time lost, as Matt likes to say.
Yeah, incorrectly.
Yeah, I mean, it is the technical term now, but for me, it'll always be extra time.
Right. Newcastle United prepared for a throw-in. Nomad, of course, this week. He's got his hands full with both baked goods as well as brains. So we'll have to see how that goes.
And hormones.
And hormones. Hormone replacement bags. I guess. I assume they come in IV bags that you just hook somebody up to. But I'm not a doctor, so
you would have to ask Matt. In fact, pose that to him as a question tomorrow on the volley. Let's see his answer. Of Newcastle in the last minute now, they've got a free kick, dangerous one. Looking to whip it in. Dan Burn not even focused on the ball, looking out for Kai Havertz.
He's ready to.
Where is he hiding? I'll get you, Kai, if it's the last thing I do.
Ooh, ball whipped in well. Oh! And Almiron, I believe it was Almiron who swung it not so sweetly.
The first initial shot, though, was really well saved by Mendy, but great hit from well outside the box.
Mm-hmm. That would have been... I guess it was Almiron who had the initial shot, but then it went over to... I can't see now because the replay's over. It went to somebody. Yeah.
The second shot, we got an overhead cam view of it. Dan Burns ripped his Newcastle shirt off. He's spoiling for a fart. We're coming in at half time, and it is Chelsea 0, Newcastle 0.
We've actually been taken over to the West Ham Aston Villa game here, stateside, with Emi Martinez laying off a big goal kick there.
I don't even know if we've got another game on. Let's quickly switch some channels. We do have another game on, I think. Or is that the same game on two channels? It's the same bloody game on two separate channels.
Oh, that's
brilliant.
That's not cool. In an interesting move here, West Ham dressing like Aston Villa.
I mean, they do have similar looking shirts.
That one's for you boys and girls at home to look up yourselves.
So just as we get to half time, Southampton have actually clawed a goal back. So it's half time.
Nice of them.
Well, I'd prefer if they got another couple, maybe. Took the win, so Watford go back down below us because I'm not feeling comfortable in 19th place. But Leeds have gone into half time 1-0 up.
Yeah. What do you make of this Leeds team now? It's been a couple weeks now since we've seen the initiation of the new head coach, the American, if you will, Jesse Marsch.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of results, nothing's really changed yet. They're still losing a lot, but there seems to be the goal leaks have been stemmed a little bit. They're not losing by heavy margins, and the formation seems to have been a total change. Instead of relying on Bielsa's very rigid way of playing. And Leeds that seem to be lining up more standardised with a 4-4-2 with more attacking options, I suppose. And it looks like he's certainly getting the best out of Dan James. I think he, after his high-profile move from Man United, kind of started well, but then struggled to make an impact. And since Jesse Marsch has took over, he seems to be getting a lot more game time, a lot more of the ball, and a lot more influence in the game. It'll be interesting to maybe revisit in about 5-6 matches to see if Newcastle can, if Leeds can get some points on the board and just see the difference between the two styles of play. I mean, we were both huge fans of the way Bielsa lines up his team. It's very exciting to watch. Last season, it was an absolute revelation, but it is rigid. There is no plan B.
It's also very taxing on the players. Physically, it's very physically demanding, and I feel like part of what had them in trouble with injuries this season, a lot of that comes down to how hard he works that team.
Yeah.
Marsch, I feel is going to, he's obviously going to add a different spin to it. I think he's going to tone down the physicality, but he's also going to up perhaps maybe some technical advances here. Maybe shift things around a little bit tactically as well.
Which is kind of ironic, because if you remember Bielsa from the Championship, his whole ethos was technicality. It was producing multi-page documents on his opponents. It was sending spies into to go and watch training camps for the team. So he had a very technical minded outset, and I don't think that kind of translated into the Premier League. Maybe he had to approach it differently, because players of Championship level don't always translate to Premier League level, and you do need to bring in Premier League level players. And maybe the kind of the 38, 40-page documents that he brings in just didn't work for those. Connor trying to get on the nerves of Radio Tekkers here, I think, saying, I'm predicting the first 0-0 draw of the season for Tekkers. Don't you put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
I don't know that. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like there's goals in this game, and I feel like they're coming from Newcastle's end of things.
I mean, Chelsea have had plenty of chances of their own. None really clear cut outside the free kick that hit the outside of the net. Newcastle certainly have had the better, closer chances. Dan Burn especially. But even if the match ends 0-0, as long as we get a fight between Havertz and Dan Burn in this second half, this has been a successful stream.
I'll ask the obvious question: who wins in that fight, Mags? Dan Burn and Kai Havertz.
Do you seriously think that Kai Havertz, if Dan Burn hits Kai Havertz, he will knock him into next week? He will spin his jaw. It will be clean. He'll be asleep.
Well, good. I'm glad that we.
Oh well, good then.
I'm glad that we sorted that out.
Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy is a very talented player. Very talented. Also, A
He
little
plays
bit
for
arrogant. Yeah. He also plays for Chelsea.
Yeah, and the arrogance as well. Yeah, I totally see that. But you compare that to the Kai Havertz that was brought in. He looks so shy, like he wouldn't say boo to a goose, and now he thinks he can hang with the big boys. Thinks just because he's got in the ring with Ali, he can box.
Perhaps it's all that talking to gooses that you mentioned that's given him so much confidence. You know,
it could be.
Oh goodness. So what else has been going on this week? You got anything interesting on your mind that you want to, I guess, tell the good folks here at Radio Tekkers? No,
have I?
No. I mean, know. I just figured I would.
So I will
segue.
let slip on. I will let slip on something for tomorrow. So chain wrestling. Oh. So chain wrestling, obviously, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. UK. Come and check it out. I'm going to be trialing going live on TikTok with chain wrestling as a kind of behind the scenes camera angle, because obviously with TikTok it's a very much a mobile based app. So I'm gonna hopefully set my phone up and people could get a little sneak peek of my viewpoint of chain wrestling. So,
I mean, you could do some like you know what happens in the 5 minutes leading up to you, you know, some skits. What happens right before you go live with Sai, perhaps.
There's a lot of tutting, yawning, shaking of heads. You'll get all that goodie, but you will just get my viewpoint of it and the my input into the show. Hopefully, when Sai is able to get his account to the required number of followers to go live, maybe we can do a live side by side on TikTok. Who knows? But this is what Radio Tekkers does. It tries to innovate and bring new content for the listeners. So yeah,
indeed.
If it works, it works. If it flops, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't attempt.
So we just got an interesting clip here on the screen of a gentleman by the name of Nick Candy, who is said to be a lifelong Chelsea supporter and a journalist, I presume, asked if Nick Candy had any interest in purchasing Chelsea. And
he went, no.
He didn't say no. He did say that he wants the Chelsea fans to be a part of taking pride and ownership in this club. I don't know who this Nick Candy is. Apparently he has quite a bit of money.
So it's he's a British luxury property developer. He's actually married to Holly Valance, the singer and actress from Australia.
All right.
Seems to be worth quite a lot of money. So
yeah, who knows if this is if it's the right amount of money that he needs to buy Chelsea.
They were estimated. Him and his brother are property developers. His brother's called Christian, and in 2010 they were estimated to have a net worth of 1.5 billion. So extrapolate that over 12 years, and I dare say that that he's worth a hell of a lot more than that now.
He hopefully. We would hopefully. Here we go.
Well, I don't hope that. I hope he's not worth anything, and that Chelsea are in relegation mire.
Let's see here. Here we go. On the 9th of March, Nick Candy, a boyhood fan, confirmed he was planning a consortium bid to take over Chelsea Football Club after owner Roman Abramovich put the club up for sale. So, this Nick Candy, he appears to be a man involved, a man on the streets, trying to pick up the club. So,
some news from 90minutes.com from a couple of days ago. Well, actually, no, updated about an hour ago. He's looking for American partners that would be able to table a $2.5 billion offer for Chelsea, and that would also include a $1.5 billion redevelopment scheme for the stadium. So yeah.
So he's looking for some very rich friends.
Because it
who need
also
to hide
says
some money.
Yeah, it also says that his actual personal fortune is estimated to be about $850 million, which clearly would not cover the amount that he would have to pay for Chelsea.
It would not. I would presume it wouldn't come very close. So yeah, I mean a consortium with, I guess, British and American fans of the club coming together to try and sort out Chelsea's future. Look at that.
Hopefully so. I mean, with all the political unrest that's kind of muddied this argument, at the end of the day, Chelsea fans are still football fans, and it's not. I would hate for their club to go under because of the actions of their owner. The quicker it can move on, then find their place in mid-table mediocrity, and this decade of Chelsea being the top of the tree comes to an end. Everybody's happy. We've got the status quo back.
Yeah. I'd much rather Chelsea go down because of the fans.
So you want the club to end because the fans are douchebags?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're so mean. So mean.
It's been a long time coming, Matt.
Connor, I have officially placed my $1 bid to buy Chelsea. I hope the club... You would absolutely shit a brick if they took that offer, and then you have to come in and pay everybody's wages.
You've now put that on the internet. Let's hope that Nick Candy did not misread that as $1 billion as opposed to $1.
No give backses.
Yeah, that would be quite the... Hey guys, listen, I don't have... I just put in $1. One bill. You missed the word billion in the email that we corresponded in.
I mean, you could always go for a loan at the bank. They may be willing to pony up $1 billion for you, Connor. Try your arm, sir.
Yes, listen, I would like to apply for this loan. I want to buy Chelsea Football Club.
And run it in my own image with your money. And we've got kickoff at this. We have actually got kickoff a minute in. Newcastle testing Mendy again, but we have a goal kick. Mendy's not kicking long for some reason. He's passing out to the defence.
Yeah. But as you pointed out, we are live now once again at the game here at the newly owned, purchased Connor McCabe Chelsea
Memorial
Football Club,
Stadium.
Memorial Stadium, the Wells Fargo Stamford Bridge.
I mean, you could have Chelsea become a feeder club to Columbus Crew because it's about their level.
That would be hilarious. It's like, we need to start sending some of these players out to Chelsea. They need time.
In fact, I actually have a bone to pick with Connor in the chat. For this week's Chain Wrestling, we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing a Ask You Anything, where the CWF, we give them questions to answer, and then we read out their answers on the show. And Connor was asked, and this is a spoiler, Connor was asked about how he thinks Columbus would do in the Premier League, and he thinks that they will get a draw against Burnley. I almost blocked him for that.
I feel like
very comment.
I feel like they could get a draw against Norwich, but maybe not Burnley. Especially with the form that Wagwedhorst. Wow.
Have you been drinking? It's only 8 o'clock, sir. This is not a Wendy's.
Veghorst, especially with the kind of form that he's been in.
So
coming to Burnley.
Again, off on a tangent. I saw a Football Daily video, and it was about the top 10 players who should leave their relegation threatened teams, and number one was fucking Wout Weghorst. He's only just rocked up at Burnley, and they're already plotting his leaving.
He's been there for 6 weeks, you know. He's
So Mort in the chat is asking, what is a Columbus? A Columbus is like a redneck kind of a hick football team in Ohio. I think it's Ohio. Is that right?
Yes.
They pretend to play football. No real history behind the club. Just a bunch of failed American footballers and failed hockey players.
Hockey players,
and not even the good hockey. Not even ass hockey, like grass hockey.
It's more like lacrosse.
Yeah. Disc golf. Former disc golf champions.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just bums. A team of bums. A team of absolute bums. They are no match to the big hitters of Austin FC.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We've actually had
and they're bums on their own. That they're like the chief bums of Bumville.
We would actually be first in the West if it weren't for a loss last night.
For all of the other teams. If it weren't for all of the other teams being better than us, we'd be the best in the West.
We were riding first for a little bit. We're in third right now, which is a good spot for just being it's our second year in the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
I can dig it.
Are you in the same league as Columbus?
We are. Well, I mean, the MLS is the league, but we're in the other conference. So Columbus is considered in the Eastern Conference. Even though if you just draw a line straight up from Austin, Texas, you would probably get somewhere close to Columbus, Ohio. If you draw a line straight up towards Canada. So Columbus is considered the Eastern Conference. We're considered the Western Conference.
And do the winners of each conference play each other for like an overall winner?
Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah, it breaks out into a tournament.
I wasn't being pedantic. I was genuinely being serious.
Yeah,
I don't know how the structure works.
I think that part of it is you can it basically breaks out into a tournament, and that determines the.
Oh, so let's say maybe top
winner.
2, top 4.
Yeah, I think it's like top 8, perhaps. I think it's been a minute.
How many teams are in the MLS? Because surely top 8 is all of the teams.
28 teams are in the.
So top 8 of each conference goes through.
I mean that feels like it would be right. Let me see here.
So 16 of the 24 teams go through. So you'd have to be terrible if you didn't make it into the playoffs.
Let's see here. How many teams? The MLS playoffs. Let me see here. The top 7 from top 7 from each conference. So I was wrong. One team gets a bye, I would presume. Yeah, there you go.
Connor, perfectly in time with the chat for you. So the league winners get the bye, I assume, to the conference winners get a bye to the next round.
That sounds like it would be right. Basketball works in a very similar sort of fashion, in that the top 8 teams in the conference go into the playoffs.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, it's a very American way of doing a league.
it's the way the Super League would have gone had Florentino Perez had his choice.
Remember a couple of weeks ago when that was announced that was rearing its ugly head again? The person who leaked that looks a bit of a dickhead now.
Yeah. Again, I think that was Florentino Perez. I think he was like, "Hey, we're still here,"
and everybody was like, "We don't care."
And then then Real Madrid beat PSG, and he was like, "Oh, Super League, bippity
boopity." So yeah, Mortar said so. Columbus is kind of like Yeovil Town. I think Yeovil would give him a good run.
I feel like
maybe like Boreham Wood.
Maybe like Sunderland.
I mean, Yeovil are worse than Sunderland, surely.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. But see, the thing is, Columbus actually has some. I'm gonna say this gritting my teeth, but they have.
He's thrown up a little bit in his mouth.
They have a decent heritage, and they are currently first in the East. So, yeah, there you go.
And that's all the praise you will get from Tanner for Columbus.
That's the only thing that you'll get out of me today about the Columbus Crew.
Connor, I will endeavour to clip that audio for you, and you can use it as your ringtone on your phone. The one time that Tanner has praised Columbus.
I mean, but they've been like a day one club. It did pain me to say that, but they've been in MLS since day one. So like, obviously they're gonna.
So they're the WWE of the MLS, and you're the plucky young AEW upstarts.
Exactly. We've got the better action. We've got the bigger stars. We've got the better city.
You make huge announcements every other week when your ratings drop. Your owner loves the cocaine.
Hey, he probably does. Just kidding, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think we won our first two games of the season 5-0 and 5-1, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got some pretty high impact players. Driussi is here. So I mean, hey, can't go wrong there with Driussi. No, not NXT 2.0. I feel like that would be like what's David Beckham's club?
Miami.
Inter Miami. That's probably NXT 2.0 right there. All right, that's fine.
Catch this block.
Yeah. Don't let me catch you on an away game. Scottish Danny has joined us in the chat. How's it going, Danny? Hope you're doing well. Chelsea are playing Newcastle United, and of course, if you haven't done so already, I don't think we said this at the beginning of the show, but please hit that thumbs up button. You know, we want to get some likes, get the YouTube algorithm trotting here. You know,
and a sub would be awesome as well. We would love to push this on to the next level, and maybe quit our day jobs and do this shit full time.
That would be great.
You need to click that sub button.
Yeah, hit that subscribe, and
in fact, go and make, let's say, 900 accounts. Won't take you long, and just all of them subscribe.
There you go. Let's see here. Columbus Crew joined 1996. Yeah, they were one of the very first clubs.
Old school.
Yeah. Them.
I'm older. You're older.
I'm older.
The whole football team.
Let's see here. Columbus, DC United, New England Revolution, New York Red Bulls, Colorado Rapids, FC Dallas, Sporting Kansas City, LA Galaxy, San Jose Earthquakes. Those were your first clubs in the MLS.
Your OGs.
Yep. Your OGs. You know what's funny is that over in Austin FC, we've only got about a 21,000 capacity stadium, but we're actually the loudest stadium in the country. So there you go.
I mean, is that a fact or
yeah?
or is that an opinion?
We make a hell of a lot of noise.
Cool.
Yeah, we're like
Whereas
the Motorhead.
Columbus is very, very quiet because it's played essentially in a field, in a kind of farm in Ohio.
There's some goats chewing on grass cud in the back.
Is Ohio not the potato capital of the states?
That would be Idaho.
Okay.
Ohio is more
Like shame. they grow shame and despair. They deal in despair. Oh, that's a boot in the face by Ziyech. Totally concentrating on this game. Let me tell you. A lot of roughhousing by Chelsea. Chalobah. With a handful of shirt, and we're getting another square off. Go on, Dan Burn. Dan Burn's looking for any opportunity to find Kai Havertz. The tackle wasn't even involving Kai Havertz, it was Ziyech. But
Is
Dan
that
Burn,
you, Kai? Oh.
This is Dan Havertz. Dan Burn may be the best player in the history of the world. Somebody's picking up a booking here, though.
Ziyech might be picking it up. Yeah. Oh, and he hit Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah. Dan Burn's going to find him.
Looks like Kante's having a word with the referee as well.
And go
Ziyech picks up the booking.
Yeah. Oh, Dan Burn.
You glorious man.
Rudiger gives him a smile knowing he's going to play alongside Dan Burn next season.
So, as we are approaching the hour mark, some interesting statistics. I'll just get this Newcastle free kick out of the way. Cleared by Chelsea, but back on the wing. Can they whip it back in? Dan Burn absolutely... Well, is that Kai Havertz and Dan Burn again?
I think you've...
Oh, no, it's Matty Target. Timo Werner and Matty Target going at it. Yeah, statistically...
Go on, Matty.
I would never have me pinned as a Newcastle United appreciation member, but I'm loving the fire in this team. They are not giving a whole shit about Chelsea. Statistically, Chelsea have had 69% of the ball. But both teams have had 5 shots. And only one team has had a shot on target, and that's Newcastle. Chelsea have had 0 shots on target in this whole game.
Yeah, I think you might be a whole minute ahead of me, Mags.
So
Timo Werner tried to body slam Matt Target's legs.
So I'll pause. I'm now on 60-37.
Okay, yeah, you were almost a whole minute ahead.
Okay.
Connor.
So you get the joy of seeing what I just saw then.
Yeah. Connor does say in the chat, the only time people care about Ohio are election years. Other than that, we're not relevant as a state. People do make a big deal about Ohio during election years for reasons that are too complicated for me to explain here on this podcast.
Is it a swing state?
Yes, very much so. Thank you, Mags. You summed it up quite well for in just so many words. Let's see here. You said you're at 60-30?
37, yeah.
Okay, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So Ohio is, I would say, is part of a trifecta of states in the Midwest that are really big in the auto industry, or were really big in the auto industry.
Oh yeah, like Michigan. I'm assuming that's one.
Yeah.
I know some states. Detroit.
It's a very
Motor City.
It's a very working class kind of area, part of the country.
Milk that, Timo. Milk that. And he's giving it his offside. He's giving us an offside. Amazing. Fuck Timo you, Timo. Was he offside though?
Somebody needs to tell him to get up because it didn't hurt that bad.
Is he offside though? Is that offside? And I don't even think it was a foul. I don't think Dubravka even makes contact.
That's tough.
So let's see the offside. Yeah, Dubravka certainly does go in with the leg. But the referee had already said it wasn't a penalty anyway, and the linesman pretty much confirmed that with the offside. But we are checking VAR for a possible penalty.
I don't know why we called it offsides.
Yeah, so our word is law, and it's not given. So ha 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 ha. Chelsea double substituting now.
Chelsea fans in the stands taking off their kits and putting on Newcastle ones. Yeah.
Oh, Kai Havertz simply can't read because he thought he was being subbed off, and he's not. It's Werner for Lukaku, and it looks like is it Kovacic coming on as well? I didn't see who he's actually come off for.
There we go. The sign got corrected because it did initially. It looks like it did initially put up Havertz, but he's staying on. It seems to further battle Dan Burn.
Even the Chelsea manager wants to see an end to this saga.
He's like, no, keep stay there. Let's see how this plays out.
Tuchel in Kai Havertz's ear. Well, I just heard Dan Burn calling you mum.
What you gonna do?
Dan Burn just called you a pussy.
That knot on the side of his head keeps looking worse and worse and worse.
It's bleeding more. It's just where he's so angry and his jaw's so clenched. The vein in his temple is just pulsing.
They're gonna have to bandage that up.
I don't think he'd want to. I think he wants the blood there.
He would just headbutt Kai Havertz.
The leaking blood fuels his anger. As his blood pressure drops, his anger rises.
Goodness. Fabian Schär sees Kai Havertz out, of course. Havertz looks
it does look like maybe it's calmed down a little bit between Havertz and Dan Burn. Anyway, they don't seem to be clashing as much. Although we still have got 25 minutes to go, so anything could really happen in this game.
No one's safe.
Yeah, not a single soul on this pitch is safe from Dan Burn. St. Maximin warming up again.
Yeah, it's all going according to plan. We're gonna bring in Alan St. Maximin, and he's gonna go and tear some stuff up on that pitch. Let's see here.
I mean, who do you take off though? You'd think it would be Wood. Wood has been anonymous.
Yeah, Wood hasn't really done much, but then again, you're taking out a big target.
Maybe Longstaff.
Or
do you think Almiron? I think he's been fairly effective. He's got some space quite a few times. I think.
Who's playing over on the right?
So you've got Murphy, who hasn't. Murphy and Target haven't been too bad, but attacking wise, Manquillo and Almiron have pushed way more forward.
Murphy is on a yellow card, so taking him off would make sense.
That's also
from
true.
A strategic point of view.
Yep, and then give St. Maximum that free roam. Maybe that'll help bring Chris Wood actually into the game because he is a little bit isolated.
Can you imagine poor Trevor Chalobah, who just a couple weeks ago had to confront Luis Diaz and his dribbling madness, and now has to take on someone of the same ilk as Alan St. Maximin.
I mean, arguably even more hard to play against because
even more dribbly.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time, St. Maximum doesn't know what he's going to do with the ball when he gets it. So, how the hell is Chelsea going to be able to cope with him? How is Chalobah going to be able to cope with him?
It was the same problem that Batman had against the Joker. Yeah, he just never, he never knew what he was going to do.
Wow.
Here we get a shot of Petr checking his bank statements, I assume.
Why have I suddenly got 4.6 billion into my account? And why am I getting a text message saying, keep an eye on this for me, Petr?
I didn't request a wire.
What do you mean deliver it to London Gatwick in a suitcase?
What? Why do you?
No,
Why?
no, Roman, I can't get hold of 4 billion worth of rubles. What a ridiculous question. Oh, good Lord.
Why have I been given GPS instructions to a shipping yard?
And why is tell no one in capital letters?
Why is it scheduled
Come
for...
along.
Why does it say 11 p.m. tonight? Only walk in the shadows.
Brilliant.
Looks like we do have somebody coming on, and it does look like it's
Almiron coming off.
Yeah,
Yep, you called it.
Well,
Almiron for St. Maximum. It looks like another Newcastle sub is coming on though, so we may still see Murphy switch off.
Murphy head out here, but for whom? That is the question.
A little bit hugging and kissing there from St. Maximum and Almiron. Made me feel slightly uncomfortable and aroused. So no second substitution, and you were absolutely on the money. Almiron's come off the pitch, and I look like an absolute pillock.
You know, they do things differently in Newcastle. Rightly,
It's cold nights. You've got to keep warm somehow.
There's no judgment placed here on our end here at Radio Tekkers. We fully support, embrace all peoples of all types. No matter who you are out there.
Even if you are from Newcastle.
Even if you are from Newcastle.
Especially if you're from Newcastle.
Everyone needs somebody to love. That's my slogan. I'm sticking to it.
Do you know, I've never heard you say that slogan before. It's almost like this is your first ever time you've ever said those words.
Oh, goodness. Graham thankfully interjects here in the chat.
And how ironic I was just using disc golf as a slate for Columbus Crew. You can send me a DM. No dick pics, please.
What you think about this, Darren?
yeah. Kablam!
Plop.
I've seen enough of Graham's penis for one lifetime.
That's on the internet for forever.
For an eternity. I can never unsee it. And he says he has earbuds in as Jackson is with me. So did you hear me?
Thankfully, Jackson didn't hear what you had to say.
I'm glad it wasn't on that Graham's Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, he's in his car.
And I think Graham is... he's well-travelled enough to know not to trust Radio Tekkers with the ears of his children.
Yeah, this is not a show made for children, folks. I will tell you that.
We will never get that Disney sponsorship.
No, never. Or we might, just in a different department.
Yeah. Ziyech again fouled there.
Yeah.
Tuchel looking frustrated, sat on the bench again. The stats since I mentioned it what, 10 minutes ago, there's been absolutely no change. No change whatsoever.
Why did Petr Cech drop off this duffel bag next to me?
Yeah. Oh, I told Roman I wasn't getting involved. And now he's kidnapped my family and said if I don't drop this money off, they'll be in the Thames by the end of the day. Wow. Oh, we have gone very political on this show. Apologies to everybody involved.
That Radio Tekkers episode where they got political.
Yeah, we may get cancelled very soon. We may get sanctioned by the UK government.
Well,
Don't take my 70-foot yacht, though, because I need that for work purposes.
What do you mean? All the people on that boat speak English. I don't understand what you're saying. Not one of them knows a lick of Russian at all whatsoever.
Brilliant. Connor saying in the chat, if you do another watch along without Matt, you need to bring Orion to keep you in line. Or on the flip side of that, would Ori take away from the ridiculous vibe of the show? Because we do behave much better when Ori's involved. She does keep it in line.
See, but I feel like that's the charm of Radio Tekkers. Even
it's a no girl zone.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. Like even on a change in attitude, when there's chaos just swirling on the microphone, I feel like those are good times.
Yeah,
you know?
And speaking of that, next Monday's episode,
might be the best one ever.
It's got the least amount of wrestling, and it's the most frustrating for Ori because she really didn't think she was going into that episode covering what we ended up covering. She thought it was a joke, but no, it wasn't a joke.
We were very
serious. And it's brilliant. It's a brilliant episode, so definitely check that out.
Yes. No spoilers, but goodness, it was a lot of fun.
It does get a little bit rough. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to go too heavy into the puns.
I will say that I didn't expect you and me and Danny to come in with all of the knowledge and about the subject matter that we did, but we somehow did very well.
And I will tell you, Tanner, I left in all of the talk of eating in, and you'll know what you're on about, of all of the talk of eating in the edit.
Good.
I think that was the best part. Those delicious beep. Yeah, so definitely check out that episode of A Change in Attitude. It's arguably the best. It'll be hard to top. I think it will be very... Oh, Connor. Shh.
Yeah. Shh. No one needs to...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Wink.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, back to the game. 15 minutes to go. Chelsea with the ball. They're having even more possession of the ball than they've had, just doing absolutely nothing at all with it. And looks like Connor actually may get a prediction right for once. He struggles with predictions on his own channel. He's actually nailing it here on Radio Tekkers.
Well, I mean, like, as you pointed out, we still have probably at least 15, maybe 20 minutes to play if you include, extra time, stoppage time. And
they have brought on, and Kai Havertz nearly turned from villain to hero then. Dubravka equal to it, but that was the best chance that Chelsea have had so far. Where was Dan Burn? Absolutely nowhere. That's where. Yeah. Not even Dan Burn marking him. Dan Burn was busy trying to hold back Lukaku. I bet he was looking at the ball floating into Havertz, and I bet he was fuming. I was like, "You dare score, you little! Oh, I'm going to stab you in the changing rooms."
Jeez. Well, he did have Lascelles on him. Lascelles did a good job at defending.
He did.
And Dubravka did a great job at handling the ball. Saint Maximin. Oh my goodness. He just tripped out. Oh. Great shot off there by Longstaff. Could have been better, but I
mean, it was a good snapshot though. Hit it on the turn. It wasn't that far away. I do want to see St. Maximin get into some mazy runs, really kind of push this Chelsea defence. But we've seen a lot of middle of the park play, and here we go. St. Maximin with a great through ball. Looks like it's been pulled offside though. His vision is superb. As hard as he is to kind of to play against, the vision he has with a ball and the passes he sees are among the best in the Premier League. Chelsea making their third substitution now. Saar coming off for everybody's favourite American, Christian Pulisic, a guy who scored against Burnley, and I wish he was dead.
Wow. Not really, folks.
No, I don't. I actually really like him.
Mags doesn't mean that.
Not dead, just maimed.
Just don't score against Burnley.
He only scores against Burnley. He doesn't score against any other team. Just Burnley. Now, scores coming through. Wolves are beating Everton. Leeds are still holding off Norwich. West Ham are beating Villa. And Watford are beating Southampton still.
If that result holds, that is not great news for Everton.
I mean, the rest of the results aren't brilliant for me, personally, for Burnley. I would like to see Southampton pull at least a draw. The Leeds one, it's hit and miss. I mean, Norwich are down anyway. But that Everton one, that is not good. At home as well to Wolves.
They are on level points with Watford. Everton.
Yeah, Watford have played 3 extra games though.
Right. But you're only 1 point off of Everton. That's not bad. It's not a bad place to be, Mags.
Nope.
Let's see here. That was Kovacic with a mazy run there of his own.
And a booking.
Or was that Kovacic?
Yeah, it was Kovacic who was fouled by Guimaraes, I think. Or not, was it? It was fouled actually twice.
Yeah.
3 times in that whole run. I think that might be Newcastle's first yellow card.
Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes, a second. Murphy's got one on. Still.
Apologies. Yep, apologies.
So
it's tied up now. So 2 yellow cards apiece. Newcastle hacked the free kick away. Connor in the chat is saying, to be fair, during the Euros I said England and Scotland would end 0-0, and I was proven right. Connor, I jest. I am only yanking your plank, sir.
Interesting.
Your choice of words.
Let's see here.
2 Newcastle defenders were defending against another Newcastle defender then. Chelsea floating the ball through, headed away, looking to pick out Lukaku. Lukaku just doesn't seem to have any drive whatsoever. He's just slowly just ambling away.
He misses the villas of Milan.
He does.
He misses his midday
siesta,
and
he's an espresso
yeah.
as he ambles down the plaza or the piazza.
He misses the fashion and the pasta, I'm sure,
and being able to drive his Lamborghini or his Ferrari.
Yep, I'm sure it's all still being tended to, waiting for him to return.
Yeah, don't sell it. Rent it out for a year, because I will be back. I'm going for the money.
I'm too afraid of Dan Burn to stay in the Premier League longer than a year.
So we're getting a shot of Big John Terry wearing a jumper and a gilet, and I assume a full kit underneath all of that.
Next to another man's wife, I'm sure.
Oh, wow.
You can look up that joke, folks, if you want.
Kovacic arguing with the referee. Don't know quite what about.
Referee's like, I don't speak Croatian. What are we doing here? I don't understand.
Connor in the chat saying, I know it's all good fun. I've done my fair share of slander. Slander? That's illegal here in the UK. So expect some correspondence from my solicitor.
You'll be served by Mags' lawyer soon.
and I'll just screen cap this, so it's your admittance of guilt there, sir. So maybe we can strike a deal. Seeing as you've got $1 billion, maybe I want part of this Chelsea deal that you're in.
Could you also have him take that part about the Columbus Crew out? Yeah, to have him delete that off his cell phone. Just for all intents and purposes, I would just really appreciate that. Thank you.
No.
Kovac is passing into space, finds Christensen. Christensen finds Kai Havertz, who, again, ran into Dan Burns, and he wasn't going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be real here.
Bruno goes down under a tackle from, I think it was Kante.
Yeah.
As we get into the... Yeah, it's all fun and games, sir, until you are served those subpoenas. Just be careful of somebody behind your back with a big brown envelope, because you got served.
Oh, jeez.
Do they still do extradition from the States to the UK?
I don't know.
I would prefer he was tried in a UK court of law. I think American courts would be biased towards him.
I really don't understand what this other guy. What is his name? Mags? Is that his real name? Can't understand his accent.
Throw in
St.
for
Maximin.
Newcastle.
Yeah. St. Maximin shepherded out. But it looks like... I mean, again, the momentum still feels all Newcastle right here. I don't see where Chelsea gets back into this game.
Ziyech
getting frustrated.
And Target have had a real battle towards the late end of the first half and well into this second half. Mm-hmm. They seem to be on the floor a hell of a lot. It's kind of weird.
Chelsea really taking pride in that Club World Cup winners badge on their,
because it's the last trophy that they will ever win. And when they're relegated next season, they're in the Championship.
I remember when we very close. Very close. Fabian Schär, he nearly had that one.
And he's been on real form in this new, I want to say, Saudi regime. Regime's the right word, isn't it? What do you say?
I sure.
I mean, dictatorship, maybe. Maybe that's the word.
I mean, Amanda Stavely has really kind of been the face out in front for Newcastle, for better or worse.
Ironic, seeing as Saudi doesn't put any stock into females, like whatsoever. So it's ironic that Amanda Stavely is the face of the Saudi-owned Newcastle United. Yeah, chopping foul there by Kovacic, and he definitely deserves that booking.
Yeah.
Arguing back with the referee.
Pretty cynical foul there, Kovacic.
And again, I think it was Bruno that was the guy that ate the fowl.
Where's your boy Chris Wood been?
He's been we've not had to mention his name one single time.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, I do enjoy how Newcastle picked up a lot of like very sturdy Englishmen in their transfer window. Matty Target, Dan Byrne,
Kieran Trippier,
Chris Wood. Yeah, Kieran Trippier. I mean, that name sounds a bit more exotic. But
I mean, ex-Burnley. He's not exotic, believe me. He's as scummy as the rest of us English. He may have lived in Spain, but he's certainly Brit at heart. I mean, didn't he get suspended for like insider betting with his brother about the transfer to Atletico? So yeah, he's one of us scallywag English people.
He actually did an interview with True Geordie not too long ago. I had to give a listen to it just because I found it to be an interesting subject matter. Obviously, Kieran Trippier is kind of the new face for this Newcastle takeover. And he had a lot to say about his time at Atletico. Kieran Trippier did.
Yeah, I've not checked that out, so I will look it up. Graham in the chat saying he lost signal for a few minutes, so I'm not sure if we discussed. Oh, so he must have sent me a DM. Have you sent me a DM, Graham? He has. Right, so let's
you if you missed the whole conversation about Max checking his DMs for you, then thank God.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely don't listen to it back in the car.
Oh, Kai Havertz, just at the last minute.
The absolute douchebag. Kai Havertz is the winner of this. Dan Burn is fuming. Dan Burn wants to murder. He wants to murder now.
Dan Burn had to be picked up off the floor by Dubravka. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be the last time that you see Kai Havertz not wearing a cast for a while.
Wow. So it was well built up playing, yeah. Kai Havertz gets the best of Dan Burn there, using his pace. And it looks like Dubravka actually. Oh no, it almost looks like Dubravka takes out Dan Burn, but I've got to give Kai Havertz that calm under pressure there. Dan Burn was trying to choke slam him at the time. and Kai, great first touch, beautiful second touch to poke it past Dubravka. It's come against the run of play, I suppose. Dan Burn is fucking fuming though. He's literally
that
fuming.
Knot in the size of his head has grown 3
it's just
times
exploded.
its size.
Yeah. And Kai Havertz goes over to the 4 or 5 Chelsea fans in the stadium.
The 4 that will be sticking around for next season, as the rest of them will be wearing Newcastle shirts.
So firstly, we'll go to this one. Connor officially retires from predictions, as well you should, sir. But we'll scroll back to this. Graham said, I lost the signal for a few minutes. Not sure if we discussed the deep fried pigs in blankets. That's definitely a good cop moment. So Tanner,
Let's take a look.
feast your eyeballs. We'll get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, from what I can see here, those look great. I'm interested to see. One is a cranberry sauce. The other one is a honey mustard.
No, it looks like apple to me.
They say it's a honey mustard.
A little bit
mayo.
chunkier. Oh, I didn't read. I didn't read the comment at the top. I just looked at the pic. I mean, the words don't interest me. It's literally all about the visual.
It looks like it's being served with tartar sauce, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
I do have an issue. I can see an issue.
Yeah, I mean, they look great. My big problem is that these are not pigs in blankets. These are bacon wrapped wieners.
No, they are. They're definitely pigs in blankets.
From what I can see here,
the issue that I have is the bacon doesn't look superly crisp. if you look at the bacon like outline around the sausage, it looks the fat looks still to be white. That'd be better if it was golden, but I would eat all 6 of those pieces, probably one bite, one mouthful. You can brush away the green. Rudiger got booked, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Real quick interjection: Newcastle have clearly given up at this game because they've introduced Dwight Gale onto the pitch.
Oh, good lord!
So, Graham did not miss out on you talking about
he's Johnson.
Johnson. Well, I apologize.
I still shudder when I picture that image. It's like a baby holding an apple.
Dwight Gill's on the pitch.
I would eat those. Back on topic. I would eat those deep fried battered pigs in blankets happily.
Yeah, I mean they're not bad. I just where's the dough?
Stop.
Where's the cheese?
They're not what you say that they are.
Do you have some jalapeno
Oh!
in there? Kai Havertz dangerously
almost
close
a
to scoring
second
another
goal.
one.
Yeah.
But Lascelles may have gotten one for Dan Burn there on Kai Havertz. It was N'Golo Kante who picked out Kai Havertz, Dan Burn. Oh, is this the replay of the goal?
Yeah, his shot has come off the bar and is cleared relatively easy. But yeah, the sliding tackle.
It may have been
really
Dan
good.
Burn. It may have been Dan Burn on Kai Havertz there. He's like, I'm not letting this one go this time.
I mean, to be fair for Dan, if he just waits in the car park, it's not like they've got security. They can't afford security. The security haven't been paid, so just wait in the car park and just get a sock, fill it with little bars of soap. Just beat the shit out of him. Not that we're condoning violence on Kai Havertz, but I did see him support Putin, so there is that.
Yeah,
he looks like a Putin supporter. Oh, wow, that's a low blow. And it looks like that's it. And Tuchel is very passionate about that win. I think he realises he's snatched that from the jaws of a draw. Got the job done on the pitch.
Yeah, this is a big win for Chelsea coming up against a Newcastle team who they really seemed up for it today. So I mean, you can consider this a big victory here for Chelsea, I would presume. Was not looking great for them throughout the game. Newcastle will feel hard done by it, but congratulations to Chelsea on this one here. Big win for them, and I guess they really needed it as a morale boost, perhaps.
And Tuchel there absolutely slapping the living piss out of Christensen's back. And as much as we've kind of given Chelsea grief in this game, to come through a very a period of the club that is in turmoil, and to still be able to get the victory against a very informed Newcastle team, I've got to give them props for that. Whether it means anything in the terms of football for next season, who's to say? But yeah, a win certainly gives Chelsea fans something to smile about.
I would definitely say so.
Marker, you were never blocked, sir. You were just put on mute for a little while. How are you? So, yep, that's pretty much the game all wrapped up. Chelsea come away with some undeserved spoils, I suppose. I want to quickly look around the rest of the league to see the other scores. So, yep, Everton versus Wolves. Everton have had a man sent off as well. So they're still 1-0 down. Norwich did equalise with into a minute of extra time, but Gelhardt has pulled a winner out of his arse in the dying breaths. Southampton it looks like they're going to finish 2-1, and West Ham have looks like they're gonna beat Aston Villa 2-1 as well. So some interesting results there. That will leave Burnley second bottom in terms of the league. Chelsea maintain their grip on third place with this result, and this is the first loss in 5, I think, for Newcastle now. But at the end of the day, they've clawed their way out of relegation. It was always going to be a hard victory to pull out at Chelsea. So it was an interesting game, though. Interesting game.
Yeah, I feel like this was a good game. Not a high-scoring game whatsoever, but lots of high drama for sure. The relegation scrap keeps getting tighter, and we just had a lot of fun, just in general today.
We certainly did.
It was a good show.
Yep, so before we get on out of here, man of the match, it's going to be a struggle for me to actually pick a man of the match, because whilst there was some entertaining football, quality-wise, I don't think it was the best we've watched. There wasn't a lot of clear-cut action. So for entertainment value alone, I've actually got two men of the matches, and it's Dan Burn and Kai Havertz. Just for that match-long struggle.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can't go wrong with picking those two as a draw. I think that you absolutely have to begrudgingly include Kai Havertz in there.
Because every hero needs a villain.
Yeah, he was a bit of a wind-up merchant this game, but he did prove to score the one goal that counted the most, and I don't think that can be forgotten anytime soon. No. I would definitely say you have to include Kai Havertz as man of the match here, no matter who you are.
Yep, so final result, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 0. Tanner, where can the good listeners of Radio Tekkers find you and your content, sir?
Well, you can find me on Twitter right below here on my name here, at TexasGentleman _. Or you can just simply follow us on Twitter at Radio Tekkers as well. That's where we retweet and house all of the content here on the channel, whether it's Radio Tekkers Live right here like this, or The Volley, where we talk more about football and the results through the week as I lose my headphones like a professional would do on a normal day. Or you could, we've also got Chain Wrestling, which Mags is a part of. We've got UFC coverage, of course, on 5 rounds, which you did last night as well. I'm sure you had some fun doing that.
It was certainly fun.
Some big fights there. But yeah, so that's where you find all the content. But Mags, where can the people find more of you? So
you can find me on Twitter. It used to be only Twitter, but it's I've expanded my repertoire, maybe. Find me on Twitter down here at PodfatherMags. There you'll find links to all the content I'm involved in. I'm heavily involved here at Radio Tekkers. This is Tanner, Man, and Matt's baby, and we love it and we nurture it. So the majority of my content is here on Radio Tekkers. That's here with the watch-alongs, with the volley, with 5 rounds, chain wrestling. Definitely check that out. Tomorrow we're trying some new, unique ideas. In other content, I'm on the Chair Shot with a Changing Attitude and Badlands. And you can also find me popping up on Visionaries Global Media. In terms of other social medias, I'm started to be a sensation on TikTok, so maybe looking to expand into that medium with the podcast content. So keep an eye out on that. You can follow that at Mags All Pods. But other than that, come and follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm probably the most active. come and give me a follow and check out the content that I've got there.
Indeed. And there's a lot of great content to be had and to be shared. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Radio Tekkers, go ahead and do so right now. Hit that thumbs up.
One of these would be amazing.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up. It doesn't take but like a second, right? Hit the thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. Again, it doesn't take any much more of your time than this. So if you've enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed the content that we put out for you every week, multiple times a week, it would be greatly appreciated. We'll keep you guys posted for more. But until next time, for the Podfather himself, I am the Texas Gentleman, and we'll take another trip down the Premier League's games next week. I don't know. It'd be a lot of fun. We'll see y'all later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.